Good evening, all. Thank you, Shinde sir, Karne sir, and sir for providing us the platform. Achilles issues are common issues in our daily practice, and Dr. Abhishek Kini and Dr. Gurunath Vache sir join with me today to discuss all the pathologies with our eminent faculty. We will discuss some of the rupture modalities of treatment and also tendinopathy and issues like Haglund's spur. To begin with, we start with Dr. Nagesh Naik sir. What we'll do, we'll have presentations, and whenever we have some issues to discuss and to give some valid points, we'll discuss after the presentation issue. So, Sumit sir, I want to ask you, you have shown wonderful flaps. If at all you want to do those flaps, uh, do you mean that a midline incision or medial incisions will do for you? Because obviously those perforators on lateral side.
So actually, midline incisions takes away everything locally from us. So practically, if at all there is a trauma, I would never prefer a midline incision because it takes away all the local flaps. Then you are not left with any options for the local flaps. It takes away the lateral flap, it takes away the medial flap, so you are left with very little. Propeller flaps at times may still work in these cases, but the propeller flaps have the limitation of the area. So we can do only for a small to intermediate kind of areas, but not for a larger area. So if there are larger areas, then it may not work out. So I think in trauma or where the skin compromise is already there, paramedian or a lateral people don't prefer, but paramedial incision definitely work better.
Great, great. Are you able to see my screen, sir?
Yes.
Okay. I will just run a video, a short videos, 3 minutes each. This is a video of acute Achilles. I just want to show you a tip where you can just give traction and yield some length. So this is a video where there is acute Achilles repair. Sorry, this is a the chronic Achilles rupture. Uh, I'm doing semi-T transfer for this chronic Achilles repair. Prone position, and I always take a midline incision as we discussed. Prone position and sharp dissection. And look at this, Agashi sir. I just wanted to show you that chronic case, but such a lengthened tissue. This is all fibrosis. This is not a tendon. And usually I don't use this retractor, but this
We
was.
can't see, at least I can't see your screen.
My screen videos are not
We
seen.
cannot see anything.
Okay, sir.
Only
Just
icons.
I will show you this.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see, sir, now?
Yes.
Okay, so I will start again. Here is a prone position given, midline approach, sharp incision, layer by layer. I usually don't use these Langenbecks. This was just to show you that this is a fibrous tissue, huge fibrous tissue in between. I asked the person why you need this surgery, and he said, "Sir, मला ढेकळातून चालताच येत नाही." So this much amount of fibrous tissue was there. We had to excise this fibrous tissue. This is a chronic Achilles rupture. And see, this is all fibrous tissue. This is not a tendon at all. And no tendon. We have to just palpate and see whether it's... after excision, this was the 9 centimeter of gap after complete excision. Then we went distally, opened the, as Naik sir showed us, calcaneal insertion, and then took out Haglund's bump from there. And now we are in flex position of knee because we are operating in prone position. In flex position, we harvest the semi-T. Here I am harvesting semi-T tendon here and preparing it. Now, after harvesting semi-T, it is important to prepare the ends because those ends they have to be prepared very well so that we can pass through the tunnel which is prepared in the calcaneum, usually from medial to lateral side. So this is semi-T. Preparation has to be good. Those whip sutures we take so that those ends are prepared nicely like this. Preparation of the end has to be good. And then we pass it from, prepare a tunnel, drill with bead pin, medial to lateral, and then the cannulated drill over it. Same bead pin which we use for ACL. Preparation done with ethibond number 2, and take the tendon in. Now this is a large gap, so such tendon is taken up. Some people may use FHL. Now this is an intact tendon proximal part, and we are inserting this from proximal to the proximal part, and then we can use a various fashion, either crisscross or, and adjusting tendon tension is very important, which we did not discuss during our last cases. Proper tensioning, because with large gap we can either keep it loose, too tight. So try to compare it with opposite side and try to adjust the tension of the tendon when there is a large gap. And see, now I'm just making a weave so that we form a tendon. And yeah, this is how I can make a weave so that large gaps can be reconstructed. And we have incised the anterior sheath, Nagesh Naik sir showed, so that there is no tension on the posterior part. There is one more short video which I will like to share. Then we will have questions over this. I will like to just share a video with you. This will sum up a whole thing which we have learned. Now, are you able to see my screen, sir?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
This is a 35-year lady. She is farmer. I operated her way back in 2002 somewhere. She has bilateral Achilles rupture. That time I was transferring peroneus brevis. Bilateral Achilles ruptures. One side I operated with transfer of peroneus brevis, and I kept her in above knee cast, below knee cast, and after 3 months, I offered her surgery for other side. She went on to heal very well on one side. Other side, I asked her that, okay, now we will go ahead with the surgery. This is a charitable place where I'm doing this surgery. And she said, look at her video, sir. She says, now I'm walking so nicely that why I need surgery on the other side. She's a farmer. One side I have operated, one side I have not operated. Can you make out that which side is operated and which side is not operated? She is farmer, very honest in her feedback, not other people. So now my question to all panelists. You have seen so many tips, tricks, how to operate. Now this is single case randomized for you for conservative and surgery. 35-year young farmer who wants to work in the field went ahead with peroneus brevis transfer, all those above knee cast, below knee cast, all those things. And I was ready for surgery on opposite side. He said, sir, everything is best on both the sides. I'm happy. I'm working in the field now. Why you need to operate on other side?
That means there is a big role for conservative line of treatment still in the tender Achilles. Only thing is you have to consider the priorities of the patient and locality of the patient, and is there C or patient is really in any complaints, then only think of surgery.
Absolutely. Agashi sir, any comments on this?
Exactly. I mean, after these 2 or 3 cases where I have excised massively, I have started thinking whether it is really necessary to repair tendo Achilles. I mean, I don't know.
Sir,
Absolutely.
shall I opine? Shall I opine
Yeah.
about
Yeah, I
this?
mean, we have purposefully I have kept it last because then the debate starts and we will take everybody's opinion, but we will give some opinion also in the end. Don't worry, because there is a literature divided between conservative and operative, but definitely we want to give message to society that it is not all operative and operative. We will like to hear and then we will sum up. Nagesh Naik sir wants to say something.
Retrospectively, now when you are thinking it is okay, but prospectively, when you saw her for the first time, it is difficult to comment at that level. But what I feel, when they come late, it is the patient's demand that it needs to be taken care of more than what is seen on X-ray or MRI or clinical finding. Because this tendon has got little less excursion, but I am not a foot and ankle surgeon. I do all the work. So in hand extensor tendon injuries, which have come late, we have seen, at least I have seen 5-6 cases where MRI said that there is continuity in the tendon. But the patient index finger classically says that there is extensor lag. It cannot come from this point to this point. In them, on clinical examination, I have done exploration. The feel of the tendon, the quality of the tendon, the quality of the fibrous tissue, whatever you said, it is quite weak and there is a band only. So you can excise that band and do recontinuity, and they do very well. So it is the patient's symptom that I cannot walk in the fields, and those things, things should be taken care of more than what is seen on investigation. That's what I feel.
Yeah. Sunil sir.
Sir, I feel in chronic tear rupture, what happens is in absence of tendo Achilles function, maybe other muscle like FHL, FDL, which are also plantar flexors, will hypertrophy and will take up most of the functions of tendo Achilles. But when it comes to sporting action, or when it comes to urban lifestyle, then definitely there should be some slack. It depends on the patient's demand of functions, what his occupation and all. I think a diabetic, chronic smoker, and having a chronic tendo Achilles rupture, we can surely conserve. I think conservative management will be better than a operative.
Great point, sir. Anyone likes to add to conservative versus surgical?
Considering that patient in which one limb was operated and another limb was not operated, the patient has to go a lot of post-op cast, everything. So that's also one of the reasons that she must be not in favor of going into the surgery. It's better that I am happy. Sometimes they adjust it, going through a lot of pain of post-operative rehab, post-op cast. Considering all these, they think it's better to adjust with the function.
Yeah.
I feel a healing is a natural process. We have to just assist it.
Yes.
Just like a fracture healing.
Can I please?
Yeah. Sir, I presented a series of 24 in Foot and Ankle International in 2014. If you read that paper, 24 successfully without any wound complications. But then criteria for selection was no one was above 60, no one was diabetic, and no one was smoker. So when we are reading the results, we should read like that. And when I operated 24, probably I must have conserved more than 300 or 400, because my 90% work is still conservative. I will make a bold, usually we don't make bold statement, but I will tell my young colleagues, I have never repented why I have conserved, but I may have to repent why I have operated sometimes in Achilles. So this is a bold statement, but still I may not repent why I have conserved, because if he is feeling weakness, we can always go for something else. But if I have operated on a patient who is diabetic, who is above 60, who is smoker, and I'll end up in complications and where plastic surgeon's help is not there, probably we are doing not justice to the patient. So I agree with all the speakers that patients' demands, patients' comorbidities, and our own expertise. I think there are 2-3 things very important. And I tell you, I have got players in whom I have consulted. They are doing fairly well, of course, not at competitive level. And in fact, there are papers from England where even footballers were conserved. Dr. Abhishek sir will like to throw light, but even they have got a good result conservative. So mind well, conservative. Yeah, only issue is in conservative, your rehab has to be good, but that has to be good even in operative. So choose your patient cleverly. Rehab has to be good, and nowadays functional rehabilitation.
Can I, sir?
Sir, I want to ask one thing. Suppose,
Yes.
sir,
Yes, sir.
you're not operating on the smokers, all right, they don't heal well, but sometimes some demanding patient, if he is not happy with that and he insists for surgery, we may deny any time. But what are the guidelines if you want to operate him? Some nicotine levels consideration of doing the nicotine levels, asking him to go away from the smoking,
Okay.
and then recheck the nicotine levels. Is there anything guidelines like that?
Good question. Actually, abroad they do nicotine levels, but one important clinical point I will tell you: if patient has good vascularity, fairly good chances of healing, and on the clinical examination you can make out if patient has tuft of hair on the dorsum of great toe, his or her vascularity is normal unless proven otherwise. Of course, you have to palpate the pulse and all those things, but simple thing, if he or she has tuft of hair on great toe dorsum, then the healing capacity or the vascularity is good. So at least see for these telltale signs. So many telltale signs are there. Chronic smokers with shiny skin and loss of hairs, everything is there. But if we fail to recognize that, then probably we are not doing good justice. And still, if you have to operate, then probably our colleagues have shown nice minimally invasive cases techniques. Then at least I think those techniques should be utilized. That is what my personal opinion is. Yeah,
Make a point here.
Yeah, Gautam sir.
Yeah. Regarding this vascular problem, it is a very high risk. So even if the patient demands, I don't think one should easily submit to that. And the second thing is the conservative thing. In our national conference, Foot Ankle, there was a paper from England by a physiotherapist. They have a fantastic post-op rehab protocol, but it lasts for 3 months. And the patient has to attend over 8-10 days, every 8 to 10 days. So the question, like if something has to be done, is to how much the patient is going to be willing to follow the protocol, surgical or conservative.
Yeah, and patient has to earn surgery. Patient has to show disability. Patient has to be compliant. Patient has to understand everything that these complications may occur. He has to earn surgery, and then results are good. Akash sir, any remarks on this, sir?
No, as I said, I'm a bit confused about conserving and operating.
Yeah.
But then you have made yourself very clear. There are some definite contraindications. There's some definite indications, and of course there are some gray zones.
Yeah.
Gray area.
So to be very on more specific side, sir, young person, mechanism of injury, trauma only, and non-insertional rupture. Two things: young person, mechanism of injury is fall, and non-insertional, that means it is really a muscular tendon junction where really the force is needed. Young healthy tendon will need some force to tear, while degenerated tendon, insertional rupture after injection is absolutely an issue. So at least agree that there is a gray zone, but these two things are definitely different. So young individual where he is demanding, he has very significant fall, and he has a non-insertional rupture, repair is always going to be good.
Yeah, please.
So I would like to ask a question in continuation. What is the opinion of the crowd about injection, hydrocortisone injection given for pain in TA? Yeah. Once upon a time, it was very common. Now, I don't know what is the current situation because I don't treat these foot and ankle problems these days.
I have not given for last 10 years.
Great.
Should never be given.
Yeah.
Great.
Only issue is, sir, again, on this common platform, usually we don't make never or always, but if at all we want to give steroid, then probably ultrasound guided, because don't give in the tendon, because in the tendon, definitely tendon is going to rupture. So if at all we want to give, and you have to be sure that you are going to go to the only pre-Achilles area or bursa, then ultrasound guided. But blind injections probably will be a disaster. I mean, that is what is general consensus also.
Sir, I'm giving ultrasound guided injection. I am having my own EVG machine.
Great.
And I am giving the ultrasound guided steroid injection.
Great.
It really works wonderfully and avoids the complications.
Give in the sheath. You give in the sheath.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Under EVG guidance.
But
Great.
not in the tendon. Yeah.
Not in the tendon.
And one more, Agashi sir, one more point about chronic Achilles ruptures. It is interesting that these ruptures are preceded by pain, and actually after rupture they become painless. So I always tell my colleagues that don't jump onto surgery. In fact, it is a natural process of that degenerated tendon which is unable to cope up with the stresses. There are micro ruptures going on, and after some this thing they become painless. So not every rupture requires surgery. Patient should demand instability. Patient should have very less comorbid condition, and you should know proper technique. So again, patient, surgeon, and injury. These three things combinedly will help you to take the decision. Patient has a disability, comorbidities are less, injury has some impact on it, and you know the proper technique. Probably that is how one should select the patient.
So I would suggest that you conduct another webinar on conservative management of tendo Achilles problem.
Absolutely, sir. I mean, whom I have considered, they are playing again football, tennis, or badminton. I have never repented myself why I have considered. So still, I'm very conservative man and yield good result. Of course, we have to explain patient that good rehab. And what literature, it is not what I say, what literature says, healing is not an issue, but re-rupture rate is more in conservative. Re-rupture rate. And re-rupture rate is less in surgery. But again, very aggressive rehab is needed. And role of ultrasound is very important again in selection. How much is the gap? How much is approximation only on plantar flexion, whether it is or chronic, and whether the tendon is diseased or not. These 2-3 things should be kept in mind.
I had presented some bold facts regarding these degenerative and insertional tears. How does the audience view them?
Yeah, again, there were questions, sir, on your same technique that do you freshen when you do percutaneously, what incisions are taken. But again, same thing that you have to assess whether there is a fibrosis inside. If there is a fibrosis and you are just readjusting tensioning with your percutaneous technique, then it will work. If there is really a gap, then it will be an issue. So assess each and every case differently and use ultrasound as a good tool that you will get some idea to it. So Agashi sir, shall we sum up because it is...
Yeah, I think so. Dr. Shinde? Shinde sir, please.
Yes. It was a fantastic discussion. All presenter has done their job nicely and shared their knowledge, skill, and we discuss from percutaneous repair to reconstruction, debridement, wraps, and conservative management with indication and contraindication. I'm sure everyone is benefited by this webinar. Thank you for your participation, and thank you, Shyam and Neeraj, for giving us extra time and kind cooperation. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye
bye. Enjoy. Bye bye, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Stay safe, sir.
Akash sir is infection master.
Sir, bye bye.
But Sampath, I have to ask one question. I think you have operated on left side and right side is not operated. What is it?
Because probably that is non-operated side must be better than the operated.
Whether I am correct or not, you have operated on left side and not operated on right side.
To be honest, I don't remember, sir.
Okay. I am telling you how I diagnose. Because there is little equinus deformity on left side, and you are told that you have given him a quite long duration of above knee cast.
Yes,
and
sir.
that's why it must not be that supple. And on the contrary, right limb is very, ankle is very supple. While
Absolutely.
walking, she is
And
having
all those 3 months, sir, when I had given her cast, she was walking on other side, and it proved that functional rehabilitation works.
she is walking very confidently, and she is having guarded and heel of gait on left side.
And one more take home message, sir. She was given injection on both sides. That's why it ruptured.
Okay. Chalo.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Have a great week.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Shinde sir. Thank you, Sampath,
Bye.
Dr. Sampath.
Thank you, Sampath sir.
Akash sir, thank you.
Thank you.
Dr.
But we
Abhishek.
have to finalize the next Sunday topic.
Sure, sir. उद्याच आपण फायनल करू.
Yes, उद्या फायनल करूया. आणि लास्ट पेन and conservative management.
Sure.
Tendinopathy. Meanwhile, we will see that somebody is going to sponsor or what.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, bye bye.